All right, folks, this is Scott with the Game Audio Institute, and are you ready for a super scripting short? Yes, you are. Anyway, so we're going to go into a situation. I've had another person actually ask me on the Discord, and of course, you can join our Discord if you want to. How basically to deal with triggers that are selective. In other words, I demonstrated various kinds of triggers in which the player walks through and everything like that. But what happens if you have enemies? You don't want them to trigger the thing, or you only want enemies to trigger the thing, or whatever like that. Well, let's take a look and see what happens. So in this project, remember we had that initial cube here that we had there, and we had it basically a trigger sound script on that cube object, and that was basically right there. Right here, and it was basically set to basically trigger when you walk through the cube, right? And it would play that sound. So how do we basically make this happen? Well, all we have to do really is just be more selective, and we can use the same thing we've already been using for our footsteps to selectively trigger objects, and that is the game object tag, basically. So in this particular case, what we want to do is we want to take a look at our on trigger enter statement, right? And all we want to do is add ourselves a collider component to that thing, because that's actually what's doing the on trigger entering is there's a collider colliding with another collider, basically. One of the colliders has been set to a trigger, so that means you can just walk right through it, which is nice. But what you want to do is basically get the collider that walked through it. In other words, what's the object that went through the trigger? So basically what you say is collider other. Now what you do is you basically are going to find out what tag is on this game object. So you go if game object, collider other, other dot game object, right? And then we can say, this is a function under the game object here. It's called compare tag. I'm sorry. I'm going to say compare tag. We've already done this before, so you already know pretty well what's going on. And we can just say, hey, that's going to be player. And then so all I have to say is if other game object compare tag player, and then we can just sort of set our brackets to deal with that sort of stuff, and we will be good to go. So that's the idea. It's going to check to see if we are the player, and then if it is the player, then it will play the sound. If it's not the player, then it won't do anything. So let's go check this out and see if this works. So basically what it is I'm going to go look at my player object, which is our player armature. It's got the tag player on it. You can see, right? All right, so let's give this a try. All right, and you can see it triggers fine. Okay, and now if we want to say to our player armature object, right, and we want to just basically set that to a different thing. Let's just say we're going to set it to finish. Okay, right. So we're the finish object, whatever the heck that means, and then basically go back here into the game, and sure enough, it's not going to trigger. So there we are. All right, I hope that helped out in any way, shape, or form. You can continue to do this kind of stuff. Use selective triggering with tags. Tags are very, very commonly used oftentimes to be able to select what things are going to happen to or not happen to various other game objects in the game. So this was just a way of being able to make selective triggers. So I hope this has helped you out. And obviously, if you want to leave a comment and the sort of things that you'd like to see happening on our channel, please leave a comment. Please share, please like, please subscribe. Help out your algorithms, essentially. and I hope this helps you get your game audio on. We'll see you next time. Bye.